All right, welcome back to the Weekly Wink, and I'm just going to start again so we can post a full video. And I am now on my phone, which I know gives you the bars on the side and I know isn't the best quality, but bonus, it stays connected to the internet. So we're going to go with connectivity over video quality. All right, so today's Weekly Wink, and welcome. I know we're doing this on a Friday, and normally it is on a Thursday, but I wanted to be able to do a better presentation. Technology is not cooperating with me on that, but to really talk about some tests that your doctors should be ordering that will give you a better insight into how your body is working. Hello again. All right. So with our bodies and how we look at them, conventional medicine, like I said before, is really set up for when things go horribly wrong. And it does that job wonderfully. I'm so grateful that there are emergency rooms and hospitals for when things go horribly wrong, they can fix it. I mean, 150 years ago, 250 years ago, if you broke a leg, you might just have your leg cut off. That's not true today. Now, even better than that, we actually have bionic limbs. Somebody just played the piano with a bionic hand. Technology has come so far, and I'm so grateful that all that exists. But our goal's different. Our philosophy is, how do we keep you from breaking in the first place? Or how do we keep you working really, really, really well? If sometimes things break and there's not anything we can do about it, how do we keep you working really well in the meantime? And we use laboratories measures to do that. These are really basic labs. They can be done through a standard laboratory, but they're looking to see, is it that you just need some maintenance, or are you broken down? So, and I will share the notes as I said before, and I'll probably re-record this video later with better tech, and we'll post it on our website just in case the technology issues are bothering you, and I apologize for that. All right, so 5 labs that are going to make a difference for you knowing how you're doing. Do you need that oil change? Are you in your full va-va-voom, vibrancy, wonderful living? Or are you getting close to breaking down? All right, so number 1 is a CBC with differential, also known as CBC with diff. Now, the standard CBC, or complete blood count, is really literally counting the number of white blood cells, the number of red blood cells, per about 10 to 50 drops of blood. Now, this is all done through big laboratory technology, but it can actually be done literally through a microscope, and they literally count how many drops of, how many red blood cells, how many white blood cells. Now, this is really great, and again, if you have a major issue, that basic CBC is going to pick it up. If you are breaking down around your blood cells, either really overproducing or really underproducing your blood cells, that's going to let us know, yes, you are ready for some major repair. But adding that little differential to it gives us way more information and lets us know that you're heading towards needing a major repair, but we can do small things to make a big difference right now. So what that differential adds to that basic count of white blood cells and red blood cells is it actually looks at the size and shape and fullness of your red blood cells and the different types of white blood cells. So knowing the size and shape and fullness of your red blood cells gives us a ton of information about iron status, B12 status, and folate status. So iron carries oxygen in your body, and if you don't have oxygen, you can't make energy. If you can't make energy, you can't do anything else. You can't make your brain chemicals, you can't repair your cells, you can't think, you can't get out of bed. So knowing that iron status is really critical. And knowing that functional iron status, how well are you actually using iron to make those red blood cells that are then going to carry that iron to carry your oxygen around, is really the question we want answered. So looking at your red blood cells, are they too tiny? Are they really empty? Are they too big? Did they not divide appropriately? All of those things let us know, okay, the iron might be too low, and we want to support that. Now, if you don't have enough B12 or folate, you'll actually get big red blood cells, kind of big and empty, or even big and full, but the wrong size because they didn't develop correctly. They didn't divide that last time. B12 and folate are super critical for DNA replication. DNA is that building block, that blueprint of all of our cells that each cell has to have. If you don't have DNA, you can't make your cell at all, much less run the cell once you've made it. So if we don't have B12 and folate, we don't make DNA, we don't make RNA, we don't make protein, we don't repair. We don't make neurotransmitters, which are your brain chemicals. We don't make our hormones. So all of those things are based on that really foundational ability to make DNA. I'm trying to get the Purell out of the background so you don't have to look at that. So that really simple addition, which for the labs we use, I think is a $1 upgrade, gives us so much more information about your nutritional status and your functional status of, are you living this vibrant, healthy life? Or is your body going to allow you to live that life? Or are you going to kind of be struggling? You're going to be tired at the end of each day. You're going to be wondering why I can't think anymore. I used to be able to do this job really easily, and now I'm struggling with the basic things that I do on a daily basis. I can't heal. I cut myself and it takes 4 weeks for me to get rid of it. Those might be indications, or that red blood cell level, that white blood cell level, would kind of let us know that might be a nutritional issue around that. All right, so that's test number 1, CBC with differential. Now another test that looks at iron pretty specifically is ferritin. Ferritin is the most sensitive indicator of iron stores and the most sensitive indicator of suboptimal iron levels. Ferritin is our iron storage protein found in our liver and muscles. It's kind of like the cash in your wallet. The question is, are you paying your bills? Sure, you might be paying your bills. Sure, you might be making enough red blood cells. They might even be the right size and shape and fullness. But how much of a struggle is it to get those red blood cells made? How much of a struggle is it to pay those bills? Are you living paycheck to paycheck, where you have just enough iron to keep your red blood cells stocked, but not enough if something goes wrong? Or do you have a nice, robust iron store, so no matter what happens, you're okay? You can make extra red blood cells on a dime, decrease numbers and be okay. Ferritin really affects that and lets us know how much stress is your body under. Now, ferritin also affects thyroid production. So if your ferritin's low, even if it's not affecting your red blood cell levels, it can still affect thyroid hormone production. And thyroid plays a role in how well you turn food into energy, how quickly and easily you turn food into energy. So low ferritin can affect your energy in that way as well. All right, so that's number 2, ferritin. Now, speaking of thyroid, free T3 and free T4 are number 3. It's actually 2 tests, so it's 3A and 3B. So free T3 and free T4 are the measures of the actual work the thyroid does. TSH is a hormone that our brain sends to our thyroid to tell it to do its job. If we have an underactive thyroid, we have to yell at the thyroid to do its job. Anybody with a child has probably experienced this, where you say it once, they don't do it, you say it twice, a little louder. That's what happens with our thyroid, is we kind of have to nudge and nudge and nudge and sometimes scream to get our thyroid functional. But that's just measuring how much we're having to say to get the work done. It's not actually measuring the true work of the thyroid. That's where T4 and T3 come in. So T4 is the inactive form of thyroid hormone. Think of it like road flares in your trunk. And I know I use a lot of car analogies. I drive a lot. It makes me think of car analogies, so I hope you're down with that. But you kind of make the thyroid hormone. It's ready to be used, but it's just kind of hanging out, waiting to be used. Now, T3 is the active form of that thyroid hormone, where we actually turn on the T4, break off the end of that road flare, and then it's bright and hot, and it lasts for about 30 minutes. So it's very short-lived, but very effective while it's working. We have to make T4, and then we have to actually turn it into T3 for you to actually feel the effect of that thyroid hormone. So we want that full picture. We want the TSH plus the T4, the free T4 and the free T3 to really understand, how is your body working? Is there a struggle to just get energy made? Are you making it, but you can't turn it on? Christmas is around the corner. Think about buying those toys that come in those really hard plastic packages that are so challenging to open. Think about kind of T4 being the toy in the plastic package. You have it, but your kid can't play with it. And now you've got to struggle to get that thing open. The question is, how easy is it to get that package open? How easy is it to turn on or break open that road flare, activate that T4 to T3? So that's test number 3, the free T4 and free T3. Test number 4 is CRP. CRP is a really sensitive indicator of inflammation. Inflammation, we know, we've talked about it so many times on Weekly Wink, that it is the cause of all chronic disease, whether it be cancer, heart disease, diabetes has an inflammation role, even depression is linked to inflammation. And we want to know as early as possible, are things on fire? How much are they on fire? And are we putting that fire out? A healthy CRP is less than 3. The average normal can go up into the 20s. But we want to really quickly know, is that part of the picture? Is there rampant smoldering inflammation around in your body? CRP is test number 4. And let me count. And the last one is homocysteine. Homocysteine is a measure of how well we're using B12 and folate in the body. B12 and folate not only have to be present, they also have to be activated and then used to make that DNA, make that RNA, make your neurotransmitters, make some of your hormones. So it's not enough just to have them, we actually have to then use them in the machinery. If we don't have well working machinery, homocysteine will build up, and that kind of lets us know that there's some problem with the flow of information and the flow of processing in our systems. So that is test number 5. So we have homocysteine, CRP, CBC with differential, free T3 and free T4, which I'm counting as one test, and ferritin. Those are 5 extra little pieces of information that can give you and your doctor and us so much insight into what's keeping you feeling great or what's preventing you from feeling great. And if you're watching this, it's probably because you don't feel as good as you know you could feel. If you have that kind of sensation of like, oh, I just know that my body should work better, I should have more energy, I should be able to think clearly all day long, or I used to be able to think clearly all day long and now I can't. This is not inevitable. You don't have to just accept that this is due to aging, but we want to know what's going on. And we use lab tests here all the time to identify what is happening, what is going on. And now you can start to use those lab tests yourself and just ask, hey, can you run this? Can you add this to this lab panel? Can we get this information? Because I'd like to know. I think there might be something else happening. All right, so those are the 5 tests your doctor isn't ordering but should be. And this is just one little glimpse into what we're going to be doing in that Know Your Numbers course, which starts on Monday, where we're really going to be going through over 20 tests, what they measure, what those kind of average normal ranges are, what optimal is, so not just what test you want, but what do you want them to actually say, what to do about it if they aren't optimal, and then we're actually going to all together kind of go through a reset and help do a really fun break free of the vicious cycle, get back into your Baba Boom 5-day little challenge. So if you are interested in that, it is starting right away. So we will have the link for signing up. Use the code BETA, B-E-T-A, to get the beta group discount, which is half off. Plus, as a beta group bonus, we are going to have 3 live Q&As with myself and Dr. Wade. They'll be about an hour, but they can go as long as an hour and a half if you guys have lots of questions, where you'll be able to say, hey, my thyroid levels are this. I understand what you said in the class. What would you do about it? You'll kind of be able to pick our brains and get that one-on-one attention that you would normally have to come into the office and pay for. So we'd have that. You're going to have that as part of the group. Plus, you're going to be able to share each other's experiences and stories and things that work, things that didn't work for you. Hey, I found this product. It makes me feel really good. We'll go through all that together with you, and you'll get a lot of access that we wouldn't normally get because we want to hear your feedback. Our goal is to help you feel great every day. Empower you. We know you're smart. We know that you can use this information, but it's so hard to get it if you're not in the field. We don't want you to have to be a doctor to understand what your labs mean. So that's what we're doing to share with you both today and with the Know Your Numbers. All right, guys, thanks for the support with the tech challenges once again. That is part of the beta launch. We're going to figure out what keeps going wrong. We will post this video, and I will do a re-record over the weekend. So check on Monday and share this video around with your friends so they can use this information to help themselves feel better as well. All right, guys, talk to you next week. Bye.